everyone, it's Liam Carrison here, and it's time for another episode of Supernatural as we get into episode number 20 of Season 6 with 2 episodes left to go after this. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how we're going to conclude things since Eve has been dealt with. In the last episode, we concluded her story. Like I said, I wish we got a bit more in regards to Eve, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what, I guess, either this episode or next episode's going to entail, because one of my hopes was that we would get an episode focused on what's going on upstairs with Castiel and the civil war that's going on, because it's surely in need for an episode to focus on. It's not the first time we've, I guess, had Misha Collins at the forefront in terms of Supernatural, in terms of exploring his character story, whether it's Castiel or Jimmy. But given the fact that there's seemingly, I don't know, a bit of a working relationship, I would say, between him and the returning Crowley, yeah, it's definitely got to get explored. So, yeah, but whatever the case, I am really looking forward to seeing what this episode has. So with that said, it is episode number 20 of Season 6 for Supernatural. Let's go.
Big plans for that fish.
Oh, man.
I remember the Tower of Babel. All 37 feet of it, which I suppose was impressive at the time. And when it fell, they howled divine wrath.
Holy dang.
Come on. Dry dumb made the wrong choice. I mean, how am I supposed to know?
What is...
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Oh, how he's getting more in tune with...
Let me tell you my story.
Yes.
Let me tell you everything.
He's looking at me. I'm happy. That fourth wall shattered. No, I'm here for it. Let's go. This is what I've wanted to unpack.
For some reason, it keeps laying eggs.
Oh, that is fucked up. That is severely fucked up. Oh my fuck. Crowley, why? Why?
The stench of that Impala's all over your overcoat, Angel.
Hey, don't fucking say a word about the Impala.
More nights out with the boys.
I spoke with Dean. I needed to know what they know.
About what? About me, maybe?
Dean is gonna feel super burnt.
Your 2 little pets are currently trying to hunt me down!
Happens to you when you do.
Oh, in that moment, we're gonna okay. Oh, man.
I was over.
Done.
And then the move to Harrow Hell, to free Sam from Lucifer's cage.
Holy deja vu.
But I was so full of confidence, of mission. I see now.
Damn.
Hubris. The Winchesters won't get to you.
Keep them distracted.
Let them get to me! I'll tear their friggin' hearts out!
You can fucking try. Just keep them distracted, I guess.
Oh, okay then. Here, hang on to this for a bit.
No fucking Joel ever. One of the reasons why you love Bobby.
That means we're dealing with a Superman who's gone dark side. Which means we've
Lovely,
gotta be cautious,
always.
we gotta be smart, and maybe stock up on some kryptonite.
Yeah, but sometimes that doesn't cut the mustard.
Excuse you, Lois Lane. But one...
I hope not. You know what happened in the Injustice comics?
These demons would lead the Winchesters to Crowley, and Crowley would tear their hearts out.
Oh, and then there's Cass, who's just like, hey!
Oh, hell.
Ah, yeah, oh, hell. Oh, boy.
I favor the eternal Tuesday afternoon of an autistic man who drowned in a bathtub in 1953.
Oh, shit. Oh. 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 Oh.
I knew then what I know now. I might have said. It's simple. Freedom is a length of rope. God wants you to hang yourself with it.
Holy
Those first
Holy
weeks
shit!
back in heaven were difficult.
What a sentence!
Explaining freedom to angels is a bit like teaching poetry to fish.
You'll kneel before me and pledge allegiance to the flag, all right?
And what flag is that?
Me, Castiel. Your allegiance to me.
Are you joking?
Do I look?
Love how his
like
eyes
I
just stand out, by the way,
You
Castiel's.
never look like you're joking.
Look at him.
You rebelled against
Heavenly.
God, heaven, and me. Now you will atone. You know better than anyone, Castiel. They're soldiers. They weren't built for freedom. They were built to follow.
Yeah, this gives them directive. Freedom is like a void for
Then
them.
I won't let you.
Really? You?
Castiel, come on in.
But I didn't go to them.
Oh, he
'Cause I
could
knew
have.
they would have questions I couldn't answer.
He could have. Holy
'Cause I was
shit.
afraid.
And he's just right there.
Guys was busy. It's all right?
And it left me with yet another choice.
Ollie's freezing. Oh, yeah.
I
Put
could
on the
reveal
spot.
myself and smite the demons. Of course, Crowley wouldn't like it, but on the other hand, they were my friends.
Exactly. It's that conflict he was... Oh. There you go.
Torch the wrong bones. It doesn't matter. We were wrong.
You know,
We made an ass of ourselves in our assumptions.
We should have. We never should have doubted you. Just hope you can forgive us.
You know when it's like you finding out someone's talking shit about you?
I know. Superman going to the dark side.
Oh.
Still just Castiel.
I guess we could put away the kryptonite, right?
Exactly. Of course, I didn't realize it at the time, but it was all over.
Yeah.
If you touch a hair on their heads, I will tear it all down. Our arrangement. Everything. I'm still an angel.
I'm waiting for them to walk in
I
on
will
Cass.
bury you.
Angel of Thursday. Just not your day, is it?
What are you doing here?
I want to help you, help me, help ourselves.
And this is where
I want to discuss.
it all comes together. Holy shit.
That's all.
You want to make a deal? With me?
With of all
I'm an angel, you ass. Don't
creations.
have a soul to sell.
But that's it. The inmates were masochists already. A lot of thank you, sir. Can I have another hot spike up for Jackson? Just look at them.
It reminds me of Good Omens, I'm not gonna lie.
No one likes waiting in line.
Especially if you're British.
Right back to the end again.
Ridiculous. I mean, the amount of power that it would take to mount a war.
More than either of us have ever seen, yeah. But what
Devil
if I
on his
said
shoulder.
You have to go nuclear.
Shit. Oh my god.
Purgatory, my fine feathered friend. Purgatory.
And how it all comes
Just
together.
think about it. An untapped oil well of every fanged. You can take him up to heaven. Make quite a showing. It's either this or the apocalypse all over again.
Yeah.
Everything you've
This-
worked for, everything that Sam and Dean.
Shit. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
You can say.
We call that a
There will
declaration
be
of war.
no apocalypse. And let it be known, you're either with Raphael or you're with me. And so went the long road of good intentions.
Thanks for coming.
How can I help?
Intervention time!
We have a new plan. We think we finally figured out a way to track down Crowley.
What is it?
It's you.
Yo, shit!
Look me in the eye and tell me you're not working with Crowley.
Oh. Yeah, you can't look him in the eye.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, that hurt.
Let me explain.
You're in it with him? You and Crowley?
You did a pretty piss-poor job of it.
Oh, I mean...
Wait,
Yeah.
did you bring me back soulless on purpose?
How could you think that?
Well, I'm thinking a lot of things right now, Cass.
Yeah, with this, you know, revelation, and now he's hearing that.
Roth, what we don't do is we don't go out and make another deal with the devil.
That sounds so simple when you say it like that. Where were you when I needed to hear it?
I was there. Where were you?
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
You know what I see here? The new God, the new devil working together.
Enough.
That's not happening.
Talking. And get out of my sight.
Woohoo.
You and Bobby are the closest things I have to family. That you are like a brother to me.
Oh,
So
my.
I'm asking you not to do something. You gotta trust me, man.
You just gotta listen to him out.
What?
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
I'm sorry, Dean.
What he's gonna...
Well, I'm sorry too then.
Fuck. Holy shit. I did not like that. Oh, shit.
So, that's everything. Because if you don't, I'm gonna do whatever I must.
Because he doesn't know where the line would be. Oh, Cap. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's all I gotta say about that. Holy shit. I mean, that was definitely... Yeah, that was definitely probably my favorite episode of the season. It was, I mean, just with how everything came together in regards to, you know, this whole shebang with, you know, Castiel and Crowley, and yeah, not just that though, but of course the boys getting just getting that closure, really, in terms of, like, well, Dean more so because of the fact that he was in such disbelief. Yeah. And Misha really, really stood out there. Like, incredible stuff. I was hoping for an episode that would highlight Castiel and not just this struggle with what's going on in the skies, but also just with him in general, because, you know, Castiel has been a very, very interesting topic to discuss in regards to what he's been doing and you know, how this season has impacted him, and because I definitely do feel it compared to seasons 4 and 5, with there being a difference in terms of the relationship with him and the boys. So, and it was, and you know, Castiel was right when he called this a tragedy, because, I mean, you even have the devastation that Dean showcased about the fact that, you know, best friend, brother, really, you just got betrayed for a demon, really. So, but I really, yeah, this as I said, this episode, whilst it was heartbreaking, whilst it was just painful to go through, and yet you were soaking everything up because it was just well acted and well done. Whilst it was heartbreaking, it was my favorite episode this season by a country mile. Just so absorbed with that episode. Phew. Banger episode. I mean, I felt like it was just very, very interesting to delve into the whole choice situation and how there is difficulty, the hardship that is there, like especially with what how Castiel was struggling to think that this is the right path to be on, despite the fact that he would do whatever it takes. Because that's the idea with free will. There is no destined plan. And it becomes very, very confusing. I've been there many a time. But just with the idea of following Castiel's story this season and how this whole situation with him versus Raphael came to be, and how it intertwines with him being in a very difficult position of going to Crowley. Yeah, it was just very, very great stuff. Like, from the beginning of the episode, I could tell that this was going to be a banger episode because it was just a very, very wonderful and neat starting point when he was glossing over the history of humanity and how he spelled out his appreciation with the humans. And yeah, the narration, the kind of fourth wall break, I was ready. I was ready for this, and I really, really loved how things transpired. It was emotional, it was difficult, but I really, really loved what what unfolded. So, yeah, I'd say compared to, was it episode 20 of season 4 as well? But compared to the other episode that had a prime focus on Castiel, which we got a brief look-see back at earlier in the flashbacks of this episode, I'd say this one stands tall, just with how wonderful and how conflicting it is, and with how you do feel for both sides of the coin, really, because you have Dean and Co understandably hurt, like especially that final scene with Castiel and Dean broke my heart. But for Castiel, not just is he's stuck between a rock and a hard place at this moment because he doesn't want Armageddon to restart, but at the same time, dealing with Crowley, yeah, is a bit of a difficult thing to. It's one of those difficult pills to swallow, isn't it? So yeah, and of course you had Dean say that, well, you could have come to us and we would have sorted this out. You know, it's not our first rodeo with angels, and we would have tried to help out. But I think with Castiel, he see, this is the difficulty when it comes to choice. You're put on the spot and you suddenly worry that, you know, with Raphael and his followers and that need to restart things with the apocalypse, I don't know if you would get shit done. It's all well and good saying, oh, we'll find a way, but actions speak louder than words. So being put on that spot with Castiel, he needed to have that assurance. And that's where Crowley came in, really, because he could offer that power. He could offer that feasible power. So, and he does care. And not just that, though, but with Dean, he was retired. He was at peace. He was with Ben and Lisa. And he's just, like, gone through a very, very difficult situation with Sam. So, with losing Sam. And yeah, we got to find out a bit about that as well with him, with a bit of deja vu spiking there with Sam being raised from perdition. So yeah, just love that line, just in general. But yeah, it was literally a case of being stuck between a rock and a hard place. And yeah, Dean did bring up a third option. So I could understand why Cass. Well, here's the thing. I could understand why he didn't go to Dean, like, when he had that opportunity to. Because that's it, though. He did have that opportunity to go to Dean. Dean makes the mention, oh, we would have sorted this out and all of that. And he was right there, and he walked away from Dean. Of course, Dean was none the wiser. But he had that opportunity. But again, with words, actions speak louder than that. And it's fair enough that Dean and Sam have contended against angels before, but there is there is a real high stake when it comes to angels in general, and now you want to have some kind of assurance to make sure that Armageddon doesn't start again, and he couldn't really mount that faith when it comes to Dean just being capable. But at the same time, I'm just thinking back to that episode with that Weekend at Bobby's episode when Bobby was absolutely flawed, and funnily enough, this did involve Crowley as well. So yeah, but there was personal stakes for Bobby, and he was in a very difficult place, and he needed help. And that's it with Cass. Of course, they both reacted differently, because Cass is not really in tune to those human emotions as much as Bobby, for example. But with Bobby, you heard him snap at Dean and Sam because of the fact that he didn't feel like he was being like his situation mattered, and he needed help, and he couldn't rely on anyone. And then you had Sam said, well, if you needed help, all you had to do was ask, really. So and it's that situation with Castiel, like with I feel like he could have asked Castiel. Castiel could have asked, should I say. And yeah, but again, I feel like I was just getting a bit of a reminder of that. But for Castiel's perspective, he could have asked. But there is a lack of faith, really, when it comes to... I don't know what options you would present to the table in terms of stopping Raphael and his followers from restarting the apocalypse. I need to have that assurance. I need to have... and that's where Crowley came in, so... Yeah. So... And how Purgatory opened up for them... Well, for... an arc this season, really, in terms of them two discussing shit. So, yeah. But, yeah. But... Again, when it comes to free will and everything, and the choice that was like that with Castiel, he was at a crossroads. He had to make a choice, and with the angels, there is not a sense of that conflict there. They have a destined path to follow, whereas when it comes to free will and you saw when. They were given freedom, and how confuddled they were. They were lost completely, and that's because they've always followed directive. With Cass, he is, like I said, he's been more in tune with the humans, and he has struggled with a sense of loyalty. And you've had that occasion, or those occasions, should I say, where there is something in his head saying something isn't right. So, and of course, he differed from the other angels, really. So, yeah. And you've got Dean trying to plead with him, saying, you can just trust us and all of that. But Cass has to follow his own path now. But he's still at a bit of a loss because he's like, I don't know if this is the right path to... And that's it when it comes to free will and choice at the end of the day. Is that you want... Because Cass here, he is trying to do the right thing. He is trying to do the best thing possible. And it's... excuse me, it's hard. It is so hard to determine if this is going to be the right path to follow because... we don't want to cock it up. So I've been there many, and you know, all of us have, really, when it comes to, because we've got free will at the end of the day. But it is, like, I'm not trying to put the spotlight on me or whatever, because, like I said, when it comes to a choice, it can be very hard. But, you know, there are situations in D&D, for example, where, you know, it is so overwhelming because, you know, as a player, I want to do the right thing, and and I often feel like I make things worse and all of that, because of the choices I make, even though that I aim with good intentions and all of that. So yeah, but not even D&D related, just in general. It is so hard for my mind to think of, like, okay, well, this is definitely, like, there is so many calculations going on if I'm presented with a choice in terms of, okay, is this good? How is this good? Like, there is it's so interesting because of the fact that, it's like there is a full-blown lecture going on inside of my head, and yet, when it comes to a choice, it's usually an on-the-spot situation, isn't it? But in my head, I am just thinking of a full-blown lecture about, okay, how is this good? You know, what are the potential drawbacks for this, etc., etc. So, yeah. It's just very difficult, isn't it? For Castiel, in this moment. He wants to do the right thing. But and that's it though, with what he is doing, I firmly believe that. But at the same time as well, it's going to be very difficult to think, okay, well, I don't want to cause any kind of potential ramifications, because you're seeing how Dean and co were betrayed by the prospect that he is working with a demon. A notorious demon, for that matter. It's not just your run-of-the-mill demon. It's someone very notorious. So yeah. So yeah, they are very bummed out. Like, especially with the fact that, you know, he's eavesdropping and everything. So yeah, you know, when it's like that worry about your friends talking shit about you, when Sam, Bobby, and Dean were discussing about the possibilities of what Castiel is doing, and then you have Dean who doesn't want to believe there is a thing going on with Crowley and Castiel. So yeah, but with Castiel, he was listening in, and with the amount of shit that was talking, like, especially the Superman comment, it was like, you know, if your friends were talking shit about you and you accidentally stumbled it, that's what it was like with Castiel. So, yeah, but, yeah, it was very powerful. It was very difficult for Dean to be in that situation where he was lied to. He had such amazing amount of loyalty and love to Castiel, and for him to have his worst fears confirmed just hurt so much, especially when it came to the fact of, well, you should know us by now, we would get shit done. So yeah, but it is just very devastating at the end of the day. So yeah, but I really thought that this was pretty powerful stuff, this episode. But I get why Cass struggled. I do get it. It is a very difficult position to be in, especially if you're, I guess, outside this whole situation. And that's what I think also makes this whole situation work, this whole episode work so well, should I say, because you're mainly focusing in on like, for the majority of the situation, you've been in the Winchester shoes with Castiel just popping by and all of that, and yeah, with this episode you're seeing Cass's struggles, and you're seeing his perspective of things and how difficult this has been for him, especially when he's not as tuned into humanity, but he still has that choice at the end of the day that many of the other angels are not going to adhere to. Because they've been following directive all of their life. So, yeah, but with, usually it's very it is very, very difficult when it comes to seeing a person's decisions, because you're not really with this episode. We're assessing Castiel from the moment from the moment, I guess, that Sam mysteriously stood outside Lisa, Ben, and Dean's home. I guess you could include Dean on that. So yeah, and the light was flickering because Castiel was there, so boom. I was wondering what that was all about when we obviously saw Sam at the end of season 5. So yeah, but now we know. Because he did raise Sam. So yeah. I felt so bad for Cass as well when Sam grilled him about, did you do this on purpose and all of that? Like, no. So, but yeah. It was very, very difficult, like, emotionally. Like, especially with seeing how Cass was trying to, like, he was trying to make a good option work. And nothing came about, really. Like, even Dean. Like, Dean was probably, in terms of morality and all of that, Dean was the best one. But would he be the best course of action in terms of taking action against Raphael? In terms of stopping this apocalypse? That's what's going on. Like, you can't always be a good person, like, I guess, in terms of this whole situation, in terms of letting your morale. Sometimes you've got to, yeah, with Castiel, it was that situation of, I can't choose the good option morality-wise, because that would go to Dean, and I don't know if he would be enough to stop Raphael and what is coming. By going to Crowley, not the best option morality-wise, but he was able to make a bit of headway because of Raphael's threats, of course. So, yeah, I mean, it was very, very difficult, but I mean, that's the downside of choice at the end of the day. You don't know, like, especially when it comes to free will, especially when there is no destiny set, etc. You don't know what's going to come about this. You don't know how many casualties there's going to be. That you don't know what kind of consequences what is going to happen. It's very, very difficult, and yeah, so. It can be very tiresome. It can be very aggravating, but yeah, that's free will for you. So that's the idea of choice at the end of the day. So yeah, but yeah, stunning episode, absolute banger. Yeah, it was really my favorite episode this season by a country mile. It was just really, really well done. Like I said, from the very get-go, I was ready for peak, and this episode delivered. So yeah. But yeah, brilliant episode. So I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time.